Okay, I figure I might as well just go ahead and start talking. It's been like 3 minutes. Just trying to see if anybody even saw my message. I know I haven't done this in a while, but here I am. I said it was gonna be a pop-up. So if people arrive, people arrive. If people don't show up, you can catch this later, because I know people are going on vacation. People are not even thinking about YouTube right about now. So they're not thinking that somebody would just randomly do their show for the first time in a couple months. But again, here I am. So I see Bills has made it in the chat. So thank you for coming through. I know we talk irregularly as of right now. I think it's probably for a reason. I'm gonna say right now, it's not anything personal. My energy is just fluctuating, and some days I don't feel like talking, and then other days it's like, yeah, I got all the energy in the world. But we're here today, and we're here to focus on the moment. So I definitely appreciate you being here, as always. But, you know, you get a different type of appreciation because, you know, we've been, you know, one-to-one, been on the same page all throughout this whole journey of podcasting. So definitely appreciate you being here. Now, hopefully these other fuck niggas can get here too. And, you know, for the people that I'm referring to, it's the rest of the community. Not all of them, but the rest of them. The ones that I'm looking sideways at the moment. But now that I got that off my chest, that's been sitting there for like 2 months. Welcome to What the Fuck Just Happened. This is episode 33. It took a while to get here, but again, here I am. And I got some things I want to talk about. Some updates, some scheduling updates, just updates in general. But honestly, the title of this episode is What Have Y'all Been Up To? So the question is, what have you guys been up to? Like, what's been going on for the last 2 months? It's not like I've seen you guys, but at the same time, people always got stuff going on. So if you're in the chat, like Bills is, just let me know what's been going on with you guys. You know, and you'll have all night. Anybody that drops in. And Bills, make sure you remind anybody you see just pop up randomly. Let them know that if they want to just spill the beans of what they've been doing for the last, you know, few months. And also, what are your plans this weekend? What do you guys plan on doing for Labor Day weekend? I know the question is short notice. You're probably already at the beach. You're probably at the bar, the comedy club, whatever. You're probably at home watching SmackDown. And then probably at 10 o'clock, you're tuning in to AEW Rampage. And as you see, I can do free advertisement as well. So make sure you guys tune in to WWE SmackDown on Fox. Whatever your Fox channel is, it is on now for the next 2 hours. See Roman Reigns get his ass whooped. And then on Rampage, AEW on TNT, you will definitely get a treat. Another appearance by CM Punk. He knows his appearances are gonna wear off, and they probably already starting to wear off. I feel like they're starting to wear off. I'm kind of anticipating the future where when he comes out, people are like, "Who's this motherfucker?" They're not gonna say that, but you know, the effect of, "Oh my God, I can't believe he's back," that's gonna wear off. So make sure you guys tune in to the wrestling that it is tonight. And boy, are we back in the 90s as far as wrestling is concerned. So that's my little spiel about that. Okay, so what are we talking about tonight? Actually, I asked you guys that question about what you guys been up to. What have I been up to for the last? What's new with me? Well, that was probably too loud. I'm probably killed a couple of people's eardrums. What's new with me? Well, you guys already knew that I got the Xbox Series S about a couple of months ago, probably before I even went off the air. Well, newsflash. For those that didn't see the tweet, the journey has ended. I have a PS5. I have the digital one. I got it through a bundle deal at QVC. You're probably wondering, what the hell is QVC? Well, if you remember Home Shopping Network, that's pretty much what QVC is. And basically, you can order whatever you want. You have an option to pay it all at once, or you can break it up into 3 to 5 payments. I chose to get this bundle, and I broke that shit up in 3 easy payments. Now, it's a bundle, so it cost me a grip, but I had to make that decision. It was available just like the Xbox Series S was. Bills was there when I got the S. He was the first one to know I had the PS5 digital. And soon he may be joining the party, so he'll let everybody know when that happens. I'm not gonna break that news, but everyone knows it's better to get both consoles, because right now there's not really a first party must get for either console. So just stock up now. If you can get the consoles, get the consoles. If you want to do the QVC, I can always send you the link, or you can go on the site itself. Believe it or not, it is readily available. Gotta make that decision at some point. And not the decision that Hard 8 Times was talking about. He's talking about paying a scalper thousands of dollars just for the console by himself. No, I ain't doing that shit. Never did that shit. Wasn't going to do that shit. And I didn't do that shit. So, that's that. Alright. So, that's one update. So, let's get to the topics at hand. Because, like I said, this is Labor Day weekend. I didn't want to take much of you guys' time tonight. Probably like a half an hour. It looks like we're good pacing. Got about 20 minutes or so that I can rap to you guys. As you can tell, I'm trying to speak a little differently. As always, no script here, but I'm gonna practice. I'm gonna be doing some techniques, some sounds, some fluctuations and stuff like that, just to see how I can sound better. Because in doing this podcasting thing and streaming, you always want to work on your craft. You want to work on your voice. Like, I've drank some tea earlier. Now I'm drinking the Zoa so I can have the energy, so you can tell. So I'm not just talking to you guys and I'm just like, what in the world is going on, guys? No, you don't want to hear that for about 30 minutes to an hour. You best. I'm like, you hear that voice, it'd be like sleeping with a woman from Boston. Bills would know. Alright, but before I go on to the topics at hand, let me check what Bill just said. Basically said, and if I sound, no, I probably don't sound distant, I don't care. The mic's right next to me anyway. Alright, so he says, I need to check in and see the foolishness he's been talking about. Okay, my concussions are talking to me right now. Can you refresh my memory on memory of just a few moments ago of what I said? That you said the foolishness that I was talking about. You know me. Playing sports. I've had several concussions. My memory's taken a hit. My short-term memory is shot. It's just what it's been. Hopefully, you guys. Okay, here's one test I want to put out before I go on to the. And it looks like it's going to be a couple of topics at hand, because I already took care of the PS5 and Series S right before your eyes. So, here's the question. And I wonder how this will come across. A controversial question. Pineapples. Does it belong on a pizza? Y'all let me know, because honestly, pineapples goes great on a pizza? That's all I got to say about that. But if you guys have any comments on that question, I should create a poll, but I'm not gonna do that. But if you think, well, just tell me your thoughts on whether does pineapple go well with pizza, or does pineapple even deserve to be on a pizza? Like I said, I think it's great. I think you should try it. Kind of sets it all off. It's a natural balance. But anyway, the two topics that I'm going to talk about tonight, one you may not have heard of, and the other pretty much is in the news 24/7 ever since the process even started. It's still playing out. So I'm gonna get the one that you guys have heard about, and that's the Afghanistan pullout. So just to catch you guys up, for those that weren't paying attention, under a rock someplace, or I don't know, in Disneyland, President Biden, upon taking office, promised to get the American troops out of Afghanistan by 9/11, which is about 8 days away of this year. And as of August 31st, he was able to do that. So all the American troops are out of Afghanistan. So basically ending the Afghanistan war, which lasted pretty much 20 years, ever since 2001. Now, if I go back to 2001, now my personal part in this timeline, because I feel like as one airman, because I was in the military, I was in the Air Force when this all started. I was in the Air Force before 9/11. And initially everybody understood why we were going into Afghanistan. We were chasing Osama bin Laden, Al Qaeda. We were going after the people that killed our people in the Twin Towers. Now, everybody has their ideas on what probably did happen versus what the 9/11 report put out there, but I'm not here to discuss that. We're here to really just focus on just the fact that Biden just pulled out all our American troops, even though there's some Americans still in Afghanistan, but that's another tricky situation. So George Bush was the president when this first started. Went to Afghanistan, going after Osama bin Laden. But somewhere down the line, we were just like, you know what? Let's go after Saddam Hussein in Iraq. So we divided our forces. We took our eyes off of Al Qaeda. We pretty much just pushed the Taliban back into the mountains. And now we go to Iraq and we push another person out of power. So, in fact, creating two states or two countries that were going to be unstable as fuck for years after their leaders were pushed out, or their controlling party or ruling party was pushed out. So Bush is unsuccessful in capturing Osama bin Laden. But guess who is? President Obama. Unfortunately, carrying out the same war as his predecessor, he winds up calling the shot that gets Osama bin Laden killed and our revenge pretty much taken out. It was at that point we should have started pulling our troops out of Afghanistan. But no, President Obama kept that going. Apparently Biden wanted to pull out, but you know, he was vice president. And I'm not saying that to defend him, but I did hear reports that stated that he had ideas of pulling out the troops while he was vice president, and everybody was like, nah, we got this money to make. But that's a different story. So we're still in Afghanistan through President Obama, and then here comes Trump. After he wins in 2016, he comes in, hey, I'm gonna pull the troops out. Even though I hate this man guts, yes, let's get these troops out of here because there's no reason they need to be there anymore. The original task was completed under Obama. It wasn't completed under Bush. Let's just get this totally clear. The mastermind behind 9/11 was killed under Obama. At that point, we should have pulled out of Afghanistan, but we didn't. So Trump wants to pull troops out of Afghanistan. Now, he's able to talk to the Taliban, which, let me just make this clear to anyone. The Taliban is not our enemy. They're a nuisance, but they're not the targeted enemy here. Never were. Matter of fact, most of the weapons they have were ours. We supplied them with weapons back during the when the Russians tried to invade Afghanistan, and they were just a lone rebel group at the time. They were our allies at one point. And of course, just like with anything, time changes priorities, and eventually they became opposition. But opposition, not enemies. They may view us as the enemy because, honestly, if you tried to invade my house, you would become the enemy too. And I can already hear it now. I already can hear anyone who hears this. They're like, "Oh, he's a Taliban a Taliban simp or whatever." I'm like, nah. I just understand that we supplied them with the weapon, and we did it again. We did it again. So Trump is talking with the Taliban, wants to pull out May 31st. I guess Trump was assuming he was going to win the election, in which he still claims he was stolen from him, which, you know, he needs to give that up. People thought he was going to be back as president for some godforsaken, outlandish ploy or plot, but that's not what happened. So now President Biden, after he wins the election with lame-ass Kamala Harris as his vice president, because she doesn't serve any purpose but to stand there like a statue and just drone on about stuff she don't have no business knowing about. But and neither does he. I didn't vote for neither one of them. I didn't vote for Trump. I didn't vote for Biden. So y'all can have that. Don't be. I had one person try to say, "Well, you probably voted for Trump." I'm like, no, I didn't. That's a crazy ass motherfucker. Why would I vote for a crazy ass motherfucker? And why would I vote for a person who's always asleep in Joe Biden, and person whose mental is declining? Just like I got concussions and my short-term memory goes bad, his is way worse. Imagine me in 20 years. I'll be like Biden. I'll be needing my pudding pop every time and soon. So anyway, so Biden gets in office. That deadline for May is coming up. So Biden has to renegotiate the terms of pullout. Y'all can pause every time I say pull out, because y'all had some messy pullouts before, I'm sure. And the thing is, it's like, it's really not a laughing matter, the pullout in this situation, because you're talking about American lives that were lost in the process of this pullout, and American lives that could potentially still be lost if we can't get them out. and also allies that were interpreters that will get targeted by the Taliban and executed and stuff like that. So, you know, the pullout I'm joking about is funny as hell. The pullout that I'm talking about right now with Afghanistan is not. There's 13 families that have to, you know, that have to grieve right now. And being a veteran, the whole thing with Afghanistan rubs me the wrong way. And it should rub every United States soldier, military, former military, part-time, should rub everybody the wrong way. After Osama bin Laden was killed, all of us should have been out of there. I never went myself. I know of friends that were there. Probably is some people that are still there. I think there was one person in this gaming community that was there and actually is back home, thank God. And so back to President Biden, like he's Irish. So President Biden is able to renegotiate a September 11th pullout deadline. Well, the Taliban, seeing an opportunity, they start taking over different territories. They basically surround Kabul. They're taking over Kandahar. They surround Kabul. And they're like, you know what? How about you leave August 31st? Seeing as we control everything right now, and as soon as you guys leave, we're going to take over everything anyway, and we're just going to bring it back to the way it used to be before you guys came in here and fuck shit up. You guys can leave out of here. You guys can take over another country, but you can't y'all gotta leave now. And at first Biden was kind of hesitant, but then it was just like, you know what? Yeah, let's August 31st. And then it wasn't even the Taliban that killed those 13 soldiers. It was ISIS. Who? Didn't Trump say we had ISIS under control? Well, apparently the Taliban don't have ISIS under control either. So we have a mess in Afghanistan that it's the Taliban's responsibility from here on out. Now, as I've stated before, we should have pulled out of Afghanistan back when Osama bin Laden was killed under President Obama. President Bush should not have gone to Iraq in lieu of chasing Osama bin Laden. So I agree with the idea that Trump had and that President Biden was able to pull off in a combined effort, just like the vaccine rollout. That was a Trump idea and a Biden execution. They tag teamed it, whether they don't like each other. In professional wrestling, you get wrestlers paired together that don't like each other. One's a heel, one's a face. They wind up winning the tag team championships. That's what happened here. So thank God the troops are out. Unfortunately, 13 didn't make it, and all of them young. None were older than the age of 31. So that's a generation that just lost 13 people. And I can feel it. That's 13 people that you will never see again. Never hear from, never smell them, never hear their laugh, their cries, their stories. I don't know how many were parents, husbands, wives, gone. All because we were there just too goddamn long. And that's basically what it was. So overall, I just think that we should not engage in any regime change wars, because President Biden said it out loud what Tulsi Gabbard was trying to campaign on, but they wanted to shame her and drive her out of politics. But he did sit there and say we will not deal in nation building. That's what got us in trouble. Iraq and Afghanistan, two failed operations in nation building. Should never did it in the first place. But yeah, I'm glad the troops are out. Just need to get the rest of the Americans home. The ones that were willing to come home, because from reports that I heard, some didn't want to leave. So that's why this situation is a little tricky. All right. So this is going to spill over to the 30 minutes that I said I was going to take of you guys' time. And this is the thing you probably haven't heard. Now, Bills, if you're still watching or still listening, because no one's watching, all you see is a screen. No one's going to tell me, no one's going to ask me about the logo. The fact that I made it smaller. That the font changed, you know. Y'all don't notice shit. For all I know. Anyway. I have never asked any of you niggas for feedback ever in my life. Like I said, most of you guys, Bill's just chimed in. He says he's been here the whole time. Yeah, you probably the only one. Like I said, I look at this community sideways for a reason. And it's funny because a lot of people that were supporting you and I on a different show, when one of us tries to do something that's different, nobody, like barely people want to follow. So, and I was starting to feel that towards the end of episode 32. So only a few people came there. So, all right. So here's the one that a lot of people have not been following. I've been following this thing for a long time. Excuse me. And that's this feud. This type of feud between two people is just beyond obsession at this point. I could have sworn they were lovers in a past life. The fighting that these two have been doing ever since, I think maybe a couple of months ago, this has been going on for the last couple of months. So the feud is between your boy Kwame Brown and Tommy Sotomayor. Now, if you guys aren't familiar with Tommy Sotomayor, he is a commentator in the pro-black atmosphere, but he has a conservative approach. I think he voted for Trump at one point, but he has a wholesome view. He definitely goes after black women, but not in a way that a lot of people attack him back with. I feel like the place he's coming from when he does what he does is from a good place. I'm like, he wants the improvement of our people. It's just that some people don't improve until you beat the fuck out of them. Some people, until you get roasted, don't change shit until they get roasted. And I feel like that's what Tommy's been doing the whole entire time. And I used to be subscribed to him up until I think 2 years ago, then I unsubscribed, and then recently I subscribed to him again, but just to one of those channels. He has like 20 million channels on YouTube. Because he's been feuding with Kwame Brown. Now, Kwame Brown, for those that aren't familiar with Kwame Brown in the sports world, he was the first #1 pick out of high school at the age of 19. Apparently, you guys can look up how old he was when he was drafted, but according to Tom, he was 19. So I've never thought to even look up Kwame's age when he was drafted, but if you drafted out of high school and you're 19, that I don't know what to think about that. But he was drafted by the Washington Wizards. Michael Jordan had picked him, and Kwame's career didn't really turn out the way a #1 pick should or is accustomed to turning out. He wound up flaming out of the league after 12 years, which, to tell you the truth, by his standards, by any regular player standards, that's a successful career. But he was the #1 draft pick out of high school, slated to do great things, and was relegated to bench, maybe a role player duty, but Now Kwame is in the pro-black app category of YouTube. He's doing YouTube videos, and he wasn't really doing too well until a podcast up. Let's see, what was it? We Want the Smoke, all the smoke podcast. I think that's the name of it, with Matt Barnes. Gilbert Arenas was on it, and Steven Jackson. I think it was Steven Jackson. And the podcast, they basically, on that episode of All the Smoke podcast, they talked about Kwame Brown, talked about some things that no one knew negative about Kwame. And Kwame all of a sudden was just like, you know what? I'm tired of this shit. Y'all been doing this shit to me for like 20 something years. I'm gonna finally start speaking. So Kwame starts making these bunch of videos going at Matt Barnes, Steven Jackson, Gilbert Arenas. Then he goes after Stephen A. Jackson, goes after Rachel Nichols, who, by the way, I had my eyes on her for quite some time for some fuck shit, and it turns out she was saying some fuck shit under the radar the whole entire time. Just not about Kwame though. So Kwame's busy. His YouTube is lit. Was lit. It actually has plateaued, and it's starting to fall right now, because for some reason he's just started dribbling and coming up with these corny ass catchphrases that he just repeats himself, and it's like, all right, we like, if you're gonna continue on this thing of pushing content, then we're gonna need you to do something different. You know, it has the same setup, same whatever. All right, so that's the background on Kwame, background on Tommy. All right, now these niggas are fighting each other. Now, originally these two were friends. So these two were friends. They were on a video together, smiling, laughing. You know, usually how things start. There's a little honeymoon period between the two. Like, this was last year. Kwame calls Tommy his idol. Man, a 1 year difference makes. So apparently these two had a falling out over an appearance that I think Tommy was supposed to have with Kwame, and there was some miscommunication, and that's when the fight broke out. For those that have seen A Different World, understand that line. So these two have been making video, have been going at it not just video for video. They've been going live stream for live stream on each other. Sometimes simultaneously live streaming and roasting the fuck out of each other. And it's been glorious to watch. It's been very entertaining. You guys are missing out. For those that are in the crumb side of the gaming community, this is the type of shit that you need to be looking into, because y'all folks in that category of YouTube gaming aren't doing that mess anymore. I know folks evolve, I know folks grow up, but that shit was entertaining. Y'all were going video for video. Y'all would pop up on live streams to roast whoever it was you need to roast. Y'all used to get y'all shit off. Now you just keep your shit in. These two are getting their shit off, and they're doing it live. They're getting money. Kwame's getting paid, even though he doesn't need the YouTube money. And Tommy is still getting paid. So, but to be honest, this feud between these two has been one-sided. Knowing that I resubscribed to Tommy, and I was supportive of Kwame originally, but right now, the feud is entertaining watching it from Tommy's side, because one, Tommy's more entertaining. He's more aware. He's quick-witted. He's just better at all the things that Kwame is trying to do. And the fact that Kwame is engaged in this beef with Tommy, and Tommy is the one that Kwame's trying to be like, it's just like a Padawan learner challenging a Jedi master. And that's what it feels like. And this is, I'm like, the roasting that Tommy has been doing to Kwame has been beyond glorious. I'm sitting there, I'm watching it. I look for me to report this back to you guys. I've gone down that rabbit hole of watching 3-4 hour live streams of Tommy just roasting the fuck out of this nigga, just going to town. And maybe I need to back off the mic because I see it's in the red, or maybe I need to turn on the mic a little bit. I think my volume should be fine, but I shouldn't really be this close to the mic. I don't want to have anybody complain they went deaf listening to me. Maybe bored, but not deaf. But I think that's all I needed to say about that feud, because it's really nothing else. It's just two niggas just roasting each other the whole entire time, and it's one-sided. So right now Tommy is just clearly ahead, and then I guess Kwame, oh god, Kwame got caught up in a couple of his live streams. This man live streamed himself in the car drunk driving. I kid you not. This is when stretching 15 minutes of fame goes wrong. This is why you're not supposed to stretch out your 15 minutes. You take your 15 minutes and you do something with it, and then you let it go and do something else. Kwame, I don't know. Anyway. Alright, so I said I wasn't going to take much of you guys' time. I'm over by 10 minutes, but I had to get that out. So, yeah, Bills, I know. You were telling me, like, what was it? You were telling me, like, right from the jump. It was like, man, this dude sound corny. He going to just have his 15 minutes of fame, and then he's going to flame out. And, yeah, you're right. You're right. You called it. But it's been damn entertaining to watch. I swear, it is so entertaining. You know, it's funny when you look at social media and how people use it. Some people take it seriously. Me, I don't. I want to laugh. I want to be entertained. I want to see people get roasted. I used to be... Look, back in the 90s in high school, I used to watch people get roasted all the time. And people not get sensitive about getting roasted. If you got roasted, you just have to roast them back. If you couldn't roast it, you just dabbed them up. Like, dude, you got me. Or you try to come up with something, you flame out. At least you tried. Don't act like people now. When you get roasted, they want to go back. Now with all this social media and all these past messages, they want to go back to like 10 years ago when you said this inappropriate joke that would be inappropriate now versus inappropriate when it was told. Be like, this dude hates gays. Look at this quote from 10 years ago. All because you had hurt feelings because he roasted you in front of millions. That's crazy. Well, anyway, that is my time. It was nice to, come back. Oh, that's what I need to do. I need to let you guys know what the scheduling is. Okay, so this is not going to be a weekly thing. I've done a lot of scaling back. There's not going to be a Discord portion. I'm basically keeping it simple. I wouldn't say I tried to do too much. My desire to have the Discord portion of this show done dwindled and no longer exists. And when you don't feel like doing shit anymore, you just don't do it. And that's where I'm at with that Discord portions. The server will still be up. I'm not canceling the what the fuck just happened server. That will still be up. But I'm gonna send invites again. And y'all need to join the server. I'm tired of sending stuff out to people and nobody responding, and then I get a random, message from Pooh about something that I'm not even gonna use anymore or at all. Because if you guys want to donate to me, you can always donate to one of my Zells. Well, actually, I have a Zelle and I have a PayPal account. And the email address to that is, and I'm going to spell it out, is E as in Echo, V as in Victor, O as in Oscar, 325 at gmail.com. So again, if you want to donate, it's up to you. It's totally optional. I don't have a Patreon for you guys to go to with separate content and stuff like that. Everything you're gonna get straight from me, no filter, no barriers. If you want to donate, it's optional. Again, the email address for the Zelle and for the PayPal is E as in Echo, V as in Victor, O as in Oscar, 325 at gmail.com. So again, totally optional. Whatever you can give, you can give. I'm thankful for your ears. I'm thankful for even the live ears. There'll be live ears, there'll be archived ears listening to this. And also make sure I will send out the link as soon as this is uploaded to Spotify. I will send the link out so you guys can just listen. You don't have to look at a screen or anything that mess. So other than that, Bills, thank you for being here. You're probably the only one that showed up. No one else bothered. If someone else was here, they bothered to just sit in the background and not say anything, like we know a person to do right about now for the last few months. So yeah, I'm back. But that seems like to be a common thing to say when you haven't been around for a while. So I'm the third person to say it this week because Brock didn't say it. CM Punk. I can't think of the other girl's name. That's an L. I couldn't remember her name. Seth Rollins' wife. Oh boy. See, it's them concussions again. When I can't remember shit, my short-term memory can't just pull up names. And then when the stream is all delayed, I can't. Oh boy. I'll just look up her name. So that way I can at least get her name out there. Seth Rollins' wife. Becky Lynch. And with that last name, I should remember her name. I don't know why. It would seem like the last name would be stuck in an African-American male's memory forever. Lynch. So, now I'm not saying that to be derogatory. That's some real shit. You know, we hear Lynch, our ears go up like, nah, And I seen some shit the other day online where I guess somebody wants to add it to their menswear as a tie. Fuck that. You ain't gonna put no Lynch rope around my neck. I don't even wear a tie. I don't like wearing ties. I'm not a suit and tie kind of person, but you're not gonna put a Lynch type rope around my neck for business and for uppity attire. Nah. All right, so it was Becky Lynch. I know Bill's he had chimed that in, but I looked it up real quick. But Becky Lynch. So Becky Lynch, CM Punk, and myself, we're back. Brock didn't say anything because he doesn't say anything. He just comes in, F5s whoever's in the ring, and walks out. Meanwhile, Punk and Roman Reigns at the same time, and Paul Heyman. So, all right. Well, again, see, tomorrow is Saturday. This is gonna be a long weekend, so I'm gonna leave you guys with this: be safe. Have fun in what you do. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. And if you're laid up with someone, make sure it lasts. Because you don't want to have a short span on a long weekend. You know what I'm saying? So, on that note, You guys take care. Peace, blessings, and every 2 weeks, this episode will commence. Every 2 weeks. I didn't bother to say that earlier, but every 2 weeks. So 2 weeks later, so 2 weeks from now, another episode of What the Fuck Just Happened, episode 34, will commence. It's part of the cutbacks. Alright, you guys take care. Peace.